Hi everybody, this is Miss Ellis, your art teacher. I am unable to be with you today, so I thought I would make a video so that you will know what to do. You're going to be working with clay today, which is pretty cool. I bet you guys love working with clay. We're going to be making a coil pot, and this is a coil pot right here. This is a very basic coil pot. I'm going to show you how to make these. So you should have packs of 4 colors, teachers, and so if you will just open them and give each student one, and I've got blue, green, yellow, and red. You can let them choose their color, or you can just pass it out. That's fine. We probably don't have enough to let everyone choose their color. So students, when you get your clay, and by the way, you're welcome to pause the video anytime because I might go kind of fast for you guys. So once you get your clay, it's going to be kind of hard. It's a little harder than Play-Doh. So you may have to kind of warm it up with your hands a little bit. So in order to start making your coil pot, you're going to take little pieces at a time. Okay, so break it off like one piece at a time and kind of warm it up in your hands. And then you may have to stand up to do this to kind of add more pressure to the clay, but you're going to have to press down on your clay and roll it back and forth just like this. And remember, just take a little piece at a time and do that, okay? And I'm going to, notice how I was starting on one side, and I'm going to go all the way to the other side. So I'm slowly making my way to the other side, just like this. All right, and that's a pretty good size. If you look at it and you see how this is a little thicker than this side, you just kind of use your hands and press and make this side a little smaller. Okay, and it doesn't have to be perfect, you know, but just take your time, roll it up. It's like we're making a little snake. I'm sure you guys have done this with Play-Doh before, so you probably know how to roll it up. Okay, so the first part that we're going to make is the bottom part. So we're going to make a coil. So what you do is you start at the end here, and you just kind of make it go in a circle. Just kind of coil it around and make it however big that you want. This is a pretty good size, about like this, about the size of, I don't know, half a finger maybe, or maybe a little longer. Okay, so that's the bottom part. Now you take another piece, and remember, you don't need a big piece, okay? So about like this, or maybe even a little smaller. And remember, it's going to be kind of hard. It's harder than Play-Doh, so you may need to kind of press it or squeeze it with your hands, kind of warm it up a little bit, and then you may have to stand up to do this again, but you're going to start rolling it out like you're making a snake. All right? And remember what I told you. Go all the way through from one side to the other, and I'm just going to go back and forth here until I get it somewhat thin. And take your time, okay? Now I don't want you standing up and beating your clay and making a lot of noise and making a big mess, okay? Just take your time, you know, look at different parts of the clay and make sure it's about the same size. When you get it to about the size that you want it to be, this time it's going to be a little different. I'm going to start on top of this, so I'm not starting next to it, but I'm starting on top of it, okay? And now I'm going to wrap around on the top. So you see how it's different this time? I'm going to go all the way around. And you see how I went on top of it instead of on the bottom? All the way around. And remember, teachers, you can definitely pause this video to make sure students are following along and getting the steps okay, because I'm sure I'm going too fast on this video. All right, so we have the beginning of our coil pot. Once again, you take another pinch off your clay, kind of warm it up with your hands a little bit, squeeze it, and we're going to do it again. We're going to do something a little different this time, just to kind of try something new to make our pot a little more fun. But I mean, start off doing the same thing that we did before, where you're going to roll it out. You may have to use two hands if you need to, which is fine. And teachers, this doesn't really make a mess, but I noticed that there's a slight residue. I'm sure you can't even see it on the camera. But if you just take a wet paper towel and give that to them and just wipe it off, it's very easy to clean up. It doesn't really make a mess, to be honest. All right. So, we're going to try something different. So, and you if you want to, you can do the same thing we just did, but I want to do something different. So, I want to make, let's see, almost like little zigzags. I'm going to go up and down. Like, you see what I'm doing here? And it's a little harder. I'm going to go up and down, up and down. You see how I'm doing that? I might just go ahead and do this first. Kind of make it look like a snake that's kind of zigzagging a little bit here. So I'm going to make a little pattern in mine. There. And then I'm going to lay it on top here. There. You see how I did that? And now I've kind of created a cool little pattern in my pot. Alright, I need another little piece to connect here because it wasn't quite big enough, but I don't need that big of a piece, so I'm going to get a smaller pinch here. And this is just one pattern. You can experiment with different patterns if you want to. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing. And see if I can get this attached here. And all you got to do is press it, kind of squeeze it together. There we go. See what I've got now? Looks a little funky right here, but that's okay. If I had more time, I'd fix that out, but okay, so now if you want to, you can just make a regular one on top of it. So remember, you got to kind of warm it up with your hands. Also, teachers, if you have the idea, you're welcome just to cut the video off or fast forward through some parts of the video, because I think at this point they already know how to how to roll their clay like this, but you are more than welcome to watch it too. So make sure it's about the same size, and I've spread my fingers out a little bit to kind of help. Now remember, don't go in just one spot. If you go in one spot, it gets really small here and big on the sides. So make sure you're going through the whole thing like this, okay? I'm going through the whole thing. And here we go. And now it's about the same size. And so what I'm going to do now is just put this back on top and just wrap it around like I was doing before. All right. See how I did that? There we go. And just kind of barely press down. You do not have to press down that hard or you'll make it collapse. All right. So there, that's what I got so far. Okay, so I've got plenty of clay left. You can just, if I were you, I would use up the whole clay on your pot. See how big you could make it? I could even add another pattern like this one if I want. I could add something different like little balls all the way around. You know, decorate it however you want, okay? And once you've used up all of your clay and you've made your coil pot, you are welcome to smush it together, and I want you to create something totally different, okay? Make a sculpture of anything that you like. You can make a little monster, you can make a snake, you can make little balls, a design, whatever you want, okay? Also, and listen carefully, you are welcome to take this home. I don't want you to share it with anyone else, okay? It's just yours, okay? Now don't be trading colors or anything. I've got a box of Ziploc bags that your teachers can pass out to you. Once you get your bag, well, not once you get your bag, but once art class is over, and you are done with your clay, just kind of ball it up, or you can leave it in whatever you've created, and put it in your bag. And then I want you to put it in your backpack and keep it safe until you get home, okay? Now listen, I do not want you to have this out unless your teacher says it's okay. Do not take this out on the bus, okay? Don't take it out on the bus. Take it out at home only once you ask your parents if it's okay, if you can take it out, okay? All right. Well, I hope you guys have had fun, and I hope you enjoy your clay. Thank you. Hope to see you next week, guys.